Ever since you left, I've been the same.
Womenpreneur.
A reminder also that 3FM's Fat to Fit 60-day weight loss journey is still very much ongoing. That online support group is still absolutely thriving. If you're still interested in losing weight this year, reminder, you said new year, new me. You can still take advantage of 3FM's Fat to Fit weight loss program and lose weight the right way.
Womenpreneur on Sunrise.
Well, let's get stuck straight in. I've got another womanpreneur this morning. It is a glorious Tuesday morning. I have Marie Seidu in the house. Marie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Such a sweet voice. One more time. Good what? Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, you have brightened up our studio this morning. How are you, Marie?
I'm good.
You've been busy.
I have.
Although I know you had a very eventful Christmas break. I saw you in action. This one is not Chinese whispers or allegations or fake news. I was there.
I think we both.
Marie, you digress. I can turn off your microphone at any point. But it is good to see you, Marie. Good morning. Ghanaian women work very hard.
Very.
Incredibly hard.
Very.
In fact, across the continent, 58% of business owners are women. It shows that we're up and doing. We are the glue that holds this economy together. And this morning, we'll be talking about your business, your experiences as a woman in business, and also you'll be giving us some tips and tricks for our budding womanpreneurs that are listening to us this morning. But quickly, how was Valentine's Day?
I was very salty.
Oh, you were salty?
I was a hater for Valentine's Day. I logged out of all my socials. I didn't.
Did you
check
actually?
anything. I did.
Oh, because of jealousy?
Yes, I was being a hater.
Do you typically do anything for Valentine's Day?
Not if I'm dating. Yes.
Oh,
And
Marie, are you telling us that you are on the market? The kids say you're on the streets.
Brilliant ads.
Brilliant ads. All right. Well, today we're talking about business and again, the pits and peaks.
Right.
Oh, okay. I think some offers might be trooping in, Marie. We're also streaming, of course, on Facebook. So hello, good morning to everybody watching us. You'll also be seeing Marie in action. And as she tells us about the business, you catch some of the behind the scenes. So Marie, let's get into it. I've been saying that for about 5 minutes, but let's get into it. You are the CEO of Rosewoode.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what the business is and what you do.
Okay. So Rosewoode basically started about 2 years ago. And it's just more of a woodworking company. So mostly what we do are doors and pergolas. We can do furniture, anything woodwork, anything wood related, we can do it.
Okay, so when it comes to wood, Rosewoode
Yes.
is the go-to. You say you do doors, pergola. That is what the kind of shed-like structure
Yes.
that's your specialty.
Yes.
Okay,
I love those.
I see. And you've been doing it for 2 years. Well done. Round of applause, because a lot of businesses don't make it past even the first month. I can tell you myself, some of the ventures I've decided to venture in, I had to see my way out very quickly. So 2 years is no mean feat at all.
you.
Why wood? How did you get into that field?
That's a very loaded question, but I'm just going to summarize it for you.
Sure.
So basically, I think a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you, like, I was in a dark place when I found this thing. Yeah, I was in a terrible place. And I was literally like, God, just give me something, give me a bone. So a friend of mine, Michael Adams, shout out to Michael.
Shout out to you, Michael.
Yes. He called me and he's like, hey, Marie, can you do a pergola for me? And I was like, yeah, I can do it.
But why did he reach out to you specifically for a pergola?
Because I had let him know that I'm into like construction things.
Okay.
So, and I have a little history with like some construction stuff I've done.
Is it a family business?
Yes.
Okay.
So we sell some roofing material.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So when he had reached out to me, the thing is, I didn't even know what a pergola was.
But you just said, I'll do it.
I said, I'll do it. I was like, yeah, I can do it. I know what this is.
And you quickly got your phone.
Googled
What is a pergola?
The pictures came up and I was like, okay, I can do this. I found, miraculously, I found an installer. We went to do it. And I think the whole process was so thrilling for me because, you know, like there was nothing there. And now there's something. How did we do this? And then referrals started coming in and I just got more excited. And
oh, wow. So on a whim, a friend reaches out to you, says, can you do this thing? Which you had to, in fact, go and Google.
Yes.
You end up doing it. And then the work is so pleasing.
Yeah.
Now you're getting offers from others to do same work.
Yeah. And I also go out now, like I'm more confident now to go out and pitch for work too.
I see.
Yeah.
What did you study in school? What was your specialty?
Human resource management.
Human resource management.
Yeah.
How does that tie into what you do now? Has it been a helpful background to have? I can imagine there's some transferable skills.
Yeah, for sure. But to be honest, theory and practical are very, very different. Especially when you're dealing with, this is not an official space. Like
right.
You're dealing with laborers, you're dealing with people who, you know, maybe are not as enlightened in some aspects. So it might not be as transferable because it is, there's a lot of things I learned on the job that I can't take from my HR degree. Like I had to learn on the job.
On the job.
Yeah.
And would you say as a tip or a trick to budding womenpreneurs is that sometimes you can only know by doing?
By doing.
You do by doing. You get in there and do it.
Literally. So don't worry about if your career path is deviating from what you learned in school because Kukwa is even in here. She's the only person I know who has used her degree to actually do something. That's Kukwa Clay. Let me shout her out. Shout out to Kukwa.
Clay Consult. Oh, and we've had her here on Womenpreneur.
She's amazing. She's actually been helping us structure our business. So she's
there
amazing.
you see two womenpreneurs who are collaborating.
I'm telling you.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Wait, is that Kukwa in the back there?
Very much is.
Last time Kukwa you came, you had pons. But you do look very beautiful this morning. Hi, Kukwa. Shout out to Kukwa. Kukwa was here on Womenpreneur. You can't see her. She's in the corner. Womenpreneurs collaborating. We love to see. So she's been helping also the business. What has that been like?
It's been great because honestly, being an entrepreneur you're literally learning everything from scratch. And Kukwa has been doing it for a while. So to have somebody just kind of hold your hand and be like, okay, we recently got a domain, you know, we're trying to do a website and stuff. So it's like, okay, somebody who's already been there guiding me, it makes everything much, much easier.
And you're very hands-on. Again, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you'll see Marie in action. She's in the thick of things. Woman in construction. You get me? Let's bring the woman angle in a little bit. What is it like when you have a project to do? You say you have to coordinate different players, if you will, in the field. And I'm guessing a lot of these players are men. What is it like as a woman, a young woman in this space trying to coordinate and get things done?
Right. So construction is predominantly male dominated.
That's right. And
I think you have to really move with a lot of grace and poise as a woman in this industry, or you'll be so angry all the time, because I feel like men sometimes, although I've met some great men who have been very, very helpful, there's also occasionally men who will kind of belittle your opinions, belittle maybe just your work in general. They might even refer to the artisan before they refer to you.
Wait, so set the premise. You're on the grounds. You are in a construction site. You are the boss. Yeah. But somebody can come in and before they even address you, they're looking around. Who any men here? Who can I speak to before I speak to this young? And you face that quite often.
Often. But I think if you're confident in your work and you're confident in what you do, and also just determined, I don't think it should be a deterrent for what you're trying to accomplish. Like, I just take it as motivation. Like when men do that to me, it literally happened to me yesterday too. But
yesterday,
yeah.
What happened? Tell us about that. What happened when you were on site?
No, but the client was actually very gracious. But I had mentioned something to him, and he turns to my installer and he says, "Is it true?" Like, and I was like, I just told you that that's how it goes. And he says, "I need to hear it from him." And it rubbed me the wrong way, but I was like, you know what, it's
occupational hazard.
Exactly, Teflon.
Yeah. It is what it is. You just, as you say, move forward and get on with it. Do you think a lot of women shy away from this type of job because of reasons like this? Or they don't even want to enter because they know they will be facing this type of opposition and pushback from male counterparts?
I think we are in an era now where women have or are finding their voices. So I don't think that's necessarily the reason. I actually feel like it's not been presented in a way that's appealing to women.
So even in general, the industry as a whole, you think?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think it's been presented in a way that's like, oh, women, you can actually go ahead and do this, go ahead and fight for this because it's too masculine. But I actually feel like, you know, women should push and try to get into that field.
Is it a profitable venture?
Yes.
That's why I need the money.
Yes.
We need the money, ladies.
Come and do. You see, and when I started this company is when I started to notice things. Like if you're looking at a building, you're just looking at a building.
Right.
But when you start looking closer, you're like, okay, there's a key and there's screws and there's a window frame and there's this and this. And it's like, somebody's supplying all this stuff. I got to get in on this action. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily you coming into the woodworking space.
Right.
But you can find something else in that construction space and get into that.
Which will also be profitable. Let's take it a few steps back. When you set up Rosewoode some 2 years ago, starting capital, I ask every single womanpreneur, was it from savings? Was it, did you approach a bank? Was it family and friends? Or did you just enter and then wish for the best? How did it go?
Literally, I jumped in and I was like, I'm in the deep end, let's go. There was no actual starting capital. I know this sounds crazy, but I tried to grow, and I tried to grow as organically and as slowly, not slowly, but more organically as I can, because money that I get from projects, I put it aside. I put some aside, the rest goes back into the business.
Right.
So I didn't have, it wasn't something I had planned that I'm going to do this business. So I didn't have seed funding, but as you do more projects, you start acquiring more capital, and then you start growing, you know, you buy stock of this, you know, you start just, you know, So I didn't have anything I started with.
That's interesting.
I got the money from my first project, put some aside, got some for my second one, put some aside. The next thing, it was like, okay, I can buy this. So my next project is not me having to go to buy this thing. I already have the stock.
Would you advise other womenpreneurs to adopt that model?
If you have the funds and you have the means to grow and scale quickly, do it. Because a lot of trepidation will hold people back. They say, I'm not ready at this point. I don't have office space. I don't have the money as yet. I don't have everything in place. But you actually started this business on a whim, off the strength of your own confidence. You thought, I don't know what a pergola is, but one will be produced. I'm going to find out.
I'm about to find out. What do you do as a business in these challenging times that we find ourselves in? And what has the impact been on Rosewoode?
It's not been so bad, but at the same time, I think recently I had to send out an invoice and I was literally like, I was so nervous because I couldn't believe I had to send this type of invoice for what I was doing. So definitely the cost of materials have gone up. It's difficult to explain to clients, like, it's not me, because you actually look at the price I'm charging for the installation or the labor is way less than the material cost.
Are profits dwindling then? Is that what's happening? Or are you able to stay afloat still?
Trying. You know, we stay afloat for sure because, I mean, it's a necessity. People are building every day.
Right.
But you have to be competitive with your pricing because other people are also in the industry. So I'm not only competing with, you know, just people like SMEs. I'm competing with big people too, because I'll go and try to take that project, but I have to compete with price.
Right.
So, yeah.
So again, as I mentioned, we're live on Facebook, so do check us out. I think you should be able to watch us on Twitter, or at least follow on in the conversation on our social media. We are at 3FM 92.7. The videos that we're watching and we're streaming, and for those of you who aren't watching, you can see Marie, as I mentioned, in the thick of things. She's climbing ladders, she's breaking things down, she's passing here, she's passing there. Is that just for show, or or day to day do you get involved?
I do. Some of the videos, one of the videos, please guys, I want to advise you, if you're doing construction, please always have protective gear. Sometimes when I go on the site, it's not planned. Like this video was not planned at all.
Okay.
I had to go and check something.
Well, that's how you get clients.
Yeah.
Show us your back, Kakra.
That was when I was.
Is that a marketing strategy?
I'm losing weight because of sometimes work stress. But
right.
Yeah, I take these videos as like progression videos. I try to document the things I'm doing.
Okay.
Because I didn't know how to climb a ladder before. It was very scary. So to even go back and look at this video, I was like, wow.
That's very interesting, the documentation. Yeah. So you said when you started, even climbing a ladder was an issue.
So like, they'll be on top of the building and telling you like, oh, we are taking pictures for you. And I'm like, no. I'm coming. I have to come up.
I want to see it for myself.
What you're doing. So I had to learn to climb and walk. And the first time I did it, everybody was like, "How did she get up there?" But it gets easier like after
you make it happen.
Yeah.
So then for again, budding womenpreneurs.
It's not for show.
It's not for show. It's documentation. Okay,
yes.
That's not the marketing strategy. She's not just climbing it up so that you guys can book her services. Yes. It's for documentation purposes. Yeah. You say these days you go out there and get the work. What is that process like in practical terms?
Okay.
How do you make it happen?
So the thing about construction, it can be very traditional as well. I know a lot of companies go the social media route, and that's important. An online presence is important. But a flyer, like you go to a construction site with a flyer, it's good. Like that's literally how I go. I go with my flyer. I tell them what I do. They have my contact, my numbers on it, everything. And once I get the contact, always remember to get a contact on the site that you can check in. But don't harass the client.
Don't harass the client. Marie, I love this tip. So, budding womenpreneurs, maybe you want to get into construction, woodwork, supplying bolts, nuts, all of that. You're driving past a construction site. Marie says you can park, take your flyer, take your card, introduce yourself. Don't harass them though. Hand out the flyer or the card and get a contact. Yeah. And that has yielded results?
Yes.
You get business doing that?
Yes. You check in once in a while. And as I said, like, a lot of men are very fascinated by seeing a woman doing this. Like, I've not had as many bad encounters with men as I've had good.
Okay, so that's good news.
When you get to the site and they see a woman trying to do something like this, they're very, very supportive. Most times they're very supportive. So don't be afraid.
Okay.
Just go and
go
pitch.
for it.
And don't be discouraged if they don't use you. Like they have you in mind. That's the most important thing. They have you in mind. I've had a client,
Go on.
I've had a client call me a year after I had tried to like pitch something to him. And I got the contract a year after. So never be discouraged if you don't get an immediate response.
So you would say patience is key?
Very. In this business, very.
What are some of the hard lessons that you've learned as a business woman?
Hard lessons. Trust. Trust is you can't trust everybody. I think that's the very, very hard business lesson. You can be very good to someone, want their best interest, have their best interest at heart, and they're just not thinking the same. Like money makes people do very funny things. That's a very hard lesson. Money makes people do funny things. Don't ever underestimate anybody. Like, oh, this person can never do this. Oh, they're going to do it. Put some cash in front of them. They're going to do it.
And things change.
They're going to do it. It's a hard lesson. I've had somebody I was trusting on a project actually take the contract from me after I gave them all my resources, all my contacts on how to even do that project.
You handed it over to them on a silver platter.
I was just like, here you go. We're about to do a project together. It's fun. They gave it to somebody. They gave it to a man, and that bruised my ego.
Oh, my goodness.
So bruised.
So you learn hard lessons from experiences like that. And sometimes business is not devoid of the hard times, peaks and troughs, but you learn lessons and then you keep moving forward. If we're looking for you, Marie, on the socials, please plug the socials.
Yes.
Let us know how we can find you.
Yes. For now, we're only on Instagram. That's Rosewoode _ ROSEWOODDE _ And that is it. We have a whopping 68 followers.
After today, if you're watching, if you're listening, run up the numbers.
Yes.
We have a woman in construction here doing amazing stuff. Tell a friend, tell a friend.
Yes.
And also for budding womenpreneurs, go onto the page and see what's being documented, how Marie is going about it, and get some tips and tricks. But Marie, what are you hoping for the rest of the year as far as business is concerned?
A lot of contracts. That's really it. I'm trying to, and also just kind of get better at what I do.
Right.
To be honest, the best thing is to know what you're doing, and I'm still learning and growing every day. So I'm praying by the end of the year, I'm way more. I'm just sharper. Yeah.
They say from your lips to God's ears. Marie,
add the money, God.
Add the money, God. We need the money. The economy is very, just when you give out invoices, it's hard giving out these invoices.
It's not a joke.
Do people think, oh, you are the one that's adding, the extra on there?
They don't understand. Like for me, the experience is way more important to me than the money. So please, if I send you an invoice, don't be angry.
Don't be alarmed.
Let's negotiate.
Let's do that. Mary, grateful for your time this morning. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have an incredible year as far as business is concerned. We'll check in again and see how Rosewoode is doing. And I'm sure many womenpreneurs listening to us this morning have learned a thing or two. So we're grateful. Have a great day, Marie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.